Hey folks, fWhip here, and today I want to talk with you about how to turn your Minecraft base into a Minecraft empire. Let's talk about taking our Minecraft building to the next level, expanding beyond our starter house and making something insanely awesome. Now, previously I've talked about how to build castles, how to build villages, and even how to build cities inside of Minecraft. Those are all great and fantastic, but today, let's go one step further and talk about your Minecraft empire. Leave a like and subscribe if you think this video is going to help you out. Now, I am the original creator of the Empires SMP server, and today I want to give you all tips on how we here on the server chose our empires going into the series and how we made ourselves unique compared to everybody else on the server. As we chat today, write down in the comments below what your empire would be if you had a chance to build one on the server. Step 1 is picking what your empire creates. Pick a Minecraft block or item. For me, I chose gunpowder, explosives, because I thought it'd be fun to be a bit chaotic here on the server. But you can pick anything from sugarcane to bamboo, to potatoes, to dripstone, to cows, to sheep, sweet berries, oak leaves, oxeye daisies, blocks of dirt. Now, a quick example here is looking at my neighbor Gemini Tay. On the other hand, she chose amethyst. And it's pretty obvious as soon as you step into her kingdom that she likes amethyst and the purple vibe. She wanted to play a wizard character in the role-playing aspect of the server and really went for that magical look inside of her base. Expanding beyond just the amethyst block, you can see a lot of purples and warmer tones and blues and things like that inside of here that really help make everything else pop. Now let's take a look at another example. Smallish Bean's base, Mazalia. He wanted to go crazy with creating a lush environment inside of the dry mesa. Normally inside of mesas, grass color is disgusting, but the moss block that was just added in 1.17 is beautiful here, and it doesn't take on any biome color, so it works everywhere. And then being in the mesa, there's an abundance of terracotta and apparently red sand. I don't know about that one. But his export turned into terracotta because he wanted to use all of the colors and everything like that inside of the world. To help along the process for this video, let's design an empire here together. And our resource today is going to be emeralds. This is something that was not chosen on the Empires SMP, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to walk you all through a brand new idea. Now on Empires, we purposely said no to emeralds as they are very essential to pretty much doing anything in the game nowadays. Between being the easiest way to repair any tool that you have pretty much, as well as a super easy way to get a lot of really strong diamond tools and enchantments. But if you're playing single player, it really doesn't matter. Just do what you want to do in the game. Number 2, we need to pick our location. We have our export being emeralds. We know emeralds spawn inside of mountains. Let's settle near a mountain. Now, emeralds in Minecraft are the economy behind everything villager powered. But where do villagers get their emeralds from? They just mysteriously seem to pull them out of their pockets. Maybe that's what your empire can be about, is where do the emeralds come from within the game? For me in my hardcore world, I recently built this giant 1.17 caves and cliffs inspired cave going all the way down to where I have my strip mine. And well, we happen to be right next to a mountain biome you can see up there. So we get emeralds galore. So if you want to make this super duper cool, change this glass out here to be green and slap some deep slate emerald ore inside these walls, and you're good. Now that we've figured out the export that our empire will have inside of this Minecraft world, what is the build style? What are we going to be making? What is our actual base going to look like? Well, it's probably going to look like rails everywhere, but that's besides the point. This is where you get to have fun and go crazy and pick whatever you want. I found inspiration for my build here on Empires by going on Pinterest and searching for concept art behind video games, and I stumbled upon the Worgen faction from World of Warcraft and their city of Gilneas, and I really started looking at a bunch of concept art and ways that those structures came together inside of that game, and I really liked it, so I took inspiration from that and built it to what I have here on Empire. Using that base concept art image, I was able to come up with this house over here, and then from there I expanded upon the style and just rotated things in and out and added a bunch of new different shapes and things, and we've got everything over there. Speaking of everything being all the way over there at the end of render distance, if you're playing with friends or even in your own world, this is where the neighbors aspect comes comes in for your empire. Do people settle close to you? Are they far away from you? Are they allies? Are they enemies? What's the relationship you have with them? If you're playing in a solo world, just make it up. Write a little tiny story for what they're doing, or maybe you have future build projects down the way of where you build up those other empires too. Now, maybe you have a crazy pillager outpost next to you, and you need to block them off with a giant wall. I don't know who exploded this thing over here, but I think they did a fantastic job separating these two. With that, you need to use story to develop your empire and help determine what you need to be building. I'm currently recording a one-off video of how to build your own empire inside of Minecraft Survival. Do you have any tips here? The live interview, impromptu question. What you got?
Yes. Okay. How to build your own empire? Easy. Just put buildings down and put them pretty close together. Put paths connecting it, and then bone meal a bunch of random trees.
All right, everybody, you heard it here from Mythical Sausage. Bone meal, random trees, and pathways and random buildings. Got it. Okay, thanks.
Easy. How about this? Plan out your area first.
There we go. Okay, yeah. You definitely did that here, right? You planned where every building's gonna go before you built them all.
I'm giving people what they should do, not what I did.
Yeah, so I was just recording what step number 4 was if you're playing with friends, what's your relationship with your neighbors? And then that's how you can build your world off. And then actually what I written down was for step 5 was make a layout of your empire. So, you actually beat me to it. You got the next one there. Good job.
Wow. Look at that. That's science.
Speaking of which, let's talk about how to lay out some buildings inside of your empire so it looks like they actually belong together instead of random buildings around the place. Take the time to find a place that looks pretty interesting. For me, I find forest biomes tend to have the best hilly areas to build on, but we might have to clear a few trees first to see that. We have a mountain right next to us, so let's plan to have the emerald mines in there and build a road off of that, splitting the area into 2, one going to the top for where we're going to have our castle, and the other where we're going to line with a bunch of fun buildings to figure out what they look like later on. With just a few pieces of concrete laid out down here for our creative mode plan before we jump into survival, I feel a lot more confident going into this knowing what I'm going to be doing. Not all of these have to be here in concrete. They're not stuck. You can change them out, you can move them all over the place, but just get a general idea of where your roads might go, what it might look like as you're moving around, and it's going to help you a lot once you actually jump in game to do that. And a huge tip that I have here for all of you is take these open areas like this guy right in here and put a nice big old wheat field down here. Much better. The next tip I have for all of you is keep expanding. As you build your base, you're going to need to pick up additional things to do, or you're just going to keep running out. Have different reasons for different survival elements to exist in everything that you're doing. Building a giant storage room inside of some dock buildings over there. Scary chicken. Build up a tiny bit of farmland to feed your people, maybe. Add in an inn for travelers to stay inside of while they're visiting. Maybe add somewhere to keep your animals, and you can turn that into a sheep farm for yourself. And of course, a stables to house the royal steeds. You can make something a little bit more on the basic side like this guy, or build it into your mega castle structure and have an entire stables region over here that's definitely full of many horses. The biggest thing I can recommend is tie the environment around you into how you play. So we have the jungle over here with our bamboo farm, and down here we have this little mossy cavern with all of our beautiful moss farming goodness down here. I spent that whole time without my armor on in my hardcore world. Scary. But anyways, as I was gonna say, just make sure everything that you build makes sense with the story you are creating inside of your empire. Next big one here, my friends, is have fun and take it slow. Hi, Ronald. Building an empire inside of Minecraft is a massive project, a mega project, a giga project, whatever type of project you want it to be, really. And it's very easy to get it caught up in the plans, make a million plans, and then be like, where do I get started? I'm overwhelmed. Because we know y'all have amazing ideas out there, and then there's just too many of them, and bleh, motivation is gone to actually get started. So if you plan to do all of this in survival, just take it slow, enjoy the early game, and have fun with what you're doing. Enjoy the time of building the world. Don't be caught up in the, oh man, I wish it was done. Enjoy the process of making everything. And trust me, there's gonna be a lot of learning along the way because it's impossible to get it right the first time. I didn't even say first time right there. I can't believe I just stumbled when I was trying to tell you it's impossible to get it right on the first time when trying to say it's impossible to get it right on the first time. Point proven? I think so. But anyways, use the ideas that you've come up with to help guide you in creating your world. Use it as a blueprint of sorts to come up with the finished final copy. But remember, it's one block at a time, one step at a time, and gradually you'll make it up there and have something really awesome to look back on. You just gotta keep with the motivation as it comes. Now, a little bit of insight into how my empire works currently on Empires SMP. I was very excited to get into producing explosives, and the best way to produce them is Creeper Farm right over there. But now I'm actively working out the supply chain on how does gunpowder actually come into this world? What do we use to produce it, and how do we actually get this stuff? I prefer not to tie my things to Minecrafty methods of doing that. I like to have a more real-world explanation of where gunpowder comes from, so I'm still coming up with that idea. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. I've got a bunch of potion brewing machines, giant cauldrons, all of that stuff where maybe some things can be created down here, which makes sense for all of the potion brewing things that I do. We've got a giant forge here that produced a massive explosion and also makes some of the most OP weapons here on the server, as far as I like to say. But I still have yet to actually explain where the gunpowder itself comes from. So what I'm trying to say here is even I don't have all of the answers yet to what I'm doing inside of my own empire. So if you don't have all the answers going in, that's totally fine. Now, in summary, my friends, today we talked about how to build your empire inside of Minecraft Survival. First off, we talked about what does your empire create? Find something unique that just your empire will produce. Next up, pick the location that your empire is going to be living in. What biome? And this can really easily tie back to the first point of what does your empire create. Then third point, tying into the first two, is pick the build style that represents your empire. After that, I think it's important to talk about what neighbors you have inside of the world, what is your relationship with them, and use a story to help define what's going on. Are they friends? Are they enemies? And so on like that. After that, now that we've got all those things sorted, then figure out the layout for your empire. What's it actually gonna look like in the world? From there, all I can say is keep on expanding, keep on experimenting, keep on adding new things into what you're doing. A quick and easy tip for how to do this super easily is to pick a villager profession and build a house that represents that villager profession. A library, a blacksmith, a Fletcher, and so on. I guess this is where I left off in the old survival world. What's in these? Lots of blocks. Lots of blocks. But anyways, the final tip we talked about was have fun and take it slow. I know that's kind of like a wash of a tip, but it's something very important. I know myself, I get caught up a lot in, ooh, I gotta get this thing done. Ooh, I gotta make this project. I gotta blah, 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 just gotta do it. And it's nice to remember that, hey, it's okay. It's okay if it takes a little while, as long as you're having fun doing it. If you're not having fun doing it, why are you bothering? Minecraft's supposed to be fun. It's a video game. Now, before we get out of here, remember to leave a comment with what your empire would be down below and give some feedback to other people while you're down there. Help each other out a bunch. It'd be awesome to read through them. I'll be sure to favorite a few. But that, my friends, is gonna have to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. Click that like button down below. Subscribe if you're brand new. And with that, I will catch you on the fWhip side.